Welcome, everybody. This is episode 54, I'm assuming.
I think you're right. We'll go with it.
We'll go for 2 for 2. It's been about, almost 2 weeks on Monday. We last came out with an episode.
Yep.
Been busy. We apologize for no episode last week, but things kind of came up, and last week was kind of a tough week. We'll get into that. I have some news about me I'm going to share and whatnot. Sam, how's your life been last few weeks? I haven't really seen you very much since our last episode.
Yeah, it's been a while. Things are going pretty good for me. Staying busy. Just getting into the summer, getting ready for summer, and nothing too crazy, honestly. Just working out, doing my thing.
I feel you on that. It's been kind of warm, except for yesterday and 2 days.
I've been enjoying the weather. I mean, some people are saying it's
except the last 2 days, right?
Too hot, too early. Yeah, yesterday was kind of crazy weather, but honestly, I'm not really one to complain about the heat, honestly. Anytime it gets like super hot out, I just always try to remember back when it was winter and it was -20 and how much it sucked and how much I would rather have the heat.
Weather just sucks in general. But I prefer what we have right now.
Right now it's perfect.
I'm gonna guess it's about what?
60s.
60s right now.
Low 60s.
No wind. Last 2 days we battled with wind.
Just a slight breeze.
I think we're gonna be doing more outside podcasts because this is nice.
This is kind of nice.
Unless it's scorching hot, then it's different. But
right.
I do have a vision for the backyard. I gotta take something down first.
In Kale's backyard.
No. So what I've been up to, I just been working and had some personal stuff going on. Just been dicking around, I guess.
Yeah.
Getting some stuff done around the house. Kind of a gaming a little bit. Just spending too much money on just for myself. I got contacts now, finally again after 2 fucking years, and it feels great to wear sunglasses again on the road and just to have them. It kind of felt weird at first. It's like, okay, this is kind of weird, but
Yeah, you get used to it.
I spent almost about $400 on contacts and glasses.
Jeez.
And none of that, I thought my work insurance would cover the contact appointment, but nope. Yeah, I had to go back and pay $60.
Yeah.
And, I think the people that are there are okay, but they want more money from you. So I kind of just said F you back and made her do the run around of the whole special they were doing. Buy a pair of glasses, get another one for a different price.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? You've been rude to me, so I'm just going to sit here and make you do it twice. And then do the whole numbers and everything. I know that sounds kind of bad to say, but...
Hey, if they were being rude, I mean...
What way to get back,
If a salesperson's going to be rude, I feel like they deserve
the doctor,
that.
Don't get me wrong, the doctor is great. Dr. Melinda at Shopco, great.
Well, that's good.
But, Sam, what you drinking on tonight?
I just got some of that leftover, not your father's, not your daddy's root beer.
I have that garage beer. I enjoy these. I'm going to be straight up honest.
That's actually pretty good.
I'm quite impressed.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll just go ahead and talk about it now. Kind of a reason why I didn't want to record last week is I got something in health-wise that kind of just put me in a sour mood and just not right. It was on a Thursday. I had the appointment.
Right.
So some people might think, oh, that's not bad. Whatever. But to me, I think it's kind of like would make one emotional, I guess. So I was recently diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, but it's manageable from what my doctor has said, and I have to take metformin for it to kind of like help, and I have to change the diet around. I already cut out the pop.
Yeah.
For the most part, but even if I do have a pop, it's like you're zero sugar, and I've come to learn sugar is good, but still don't want to drink it all the time. But I've been drinking a lot of water. I know I have a beer right next to me, but I haven't had a beer since the last episode, and that was like 2 weeks ago. And I can drink 2 of these a day. I take this to work every day. It's kind of been emotionally tough. I mean,
it's you alluded to like people being like, oh, that's not like a big deal or whatever, but it really is. I mean,
for someone that's my age, yeah, I'm going to be 27 this year in a couple months, and it's like,
it's kind of, I feel like, I don't take this the wrong way at all, but I feel like maybe it's a little bit of a wake up call.
Oh yeah, trust me, I know. Yeah. And it's kind of, I've already changed the way I do a lot of shit. I'm not as bloated now. Like fuck, sit in this chair. Not the way I'm leaning back now. I used to never be able to do.
Right.
I've already cut out like a lot of bread and carbs. Like, so Craig, Craig's been on this podcast and he's diabetic. You would look at him and he's like, there's no way. He is.
Type 2?
Yes. He just out of the blue got diagnosed because he woke up and wasn't feeling good and everything.
My dad is also type 2.
Doctor said it's manageable. It's not like where I got to take a shot or anything. Metformin, the metformin's going to really help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Craig was like, yeah, when you got a shit, you got a shit. So when you're driving on the road, head for the hills, son. But no, it has, I got a big support system out of it already, with Craig and then my mom, my dad. My mom's already making, how mothers are. Oh my God, we got to do this. This is like the first, It just had to happen right before Mother's Day.
Yeah. When you first told me that, I was, I really felt for you, and I didn't want to like say a whole lot because I didn't know how you were feeling, and I didn't want to like feel like giving advice or like saying a bunch of stuff because I felt like it might have just been a moment where you just kind of have to like
accept it,
kind of sit with it and accept it for a while before you start having people like throw stuff at you that's like, you need to do this, you need to do that, because obviously being a trainer, I've worked with quite a few people who have type 2 diabetes, and my dad is type 2 diabetic.
Well,
and so I get it.
My 2 bosses are diabetic, so Craig and Rollin. Rollin, he sat there and talked to me, you're gonna have to change this, you're gonna have to change that. He's very smart. He's a very intelligent man for his age, and he's really old, and his wife, I think, is diabetic too and stuff. And he's like, you got to cut out pasta. You got to, because carbs. That's what Craig said.
It's the sugar. It's the blood sugar.
It's the sugar and a lot of those carbs.
Well, and that's what sugar is. Yeah. Sugar is a carb.
He said, he was telling me, don't go think you got to go change like right away. Like, you don't.
Slowly over time.
Like, don't go out and just go buy just a shit ton of healthy food because it's going to get expensive real quick. But he said, he was telling me, when he first got diagnosed, he was doing really well, but he almost was doing too well to where his numbers were kind of out of whack a little bit.
Yeah. So that's the thing is like, that goes for people that aren't even diabetic. Like if you want to change your life and lose weight, you don't just go, balls deep right away.
Yeah.
You got to slowly incorporate it into your life. Otherwise you're going to suffer. You're actually going to suffer from some withdrawal too. If you just like cut out all those foods you were eating,
and to be honest,
immediately,
like, don't get me wrong, I haven't been perfect about it. It's still new. So
new.
I've been eating more salad and chicken. Chicken's great for what I've been told. As long as I don't eat the chicken skin, like I have a rotisserie chicken, don't eat the chicken skin.
Chicken's just straight protein is all it is.
What I was gonna say is I was also told salad is good, but I like croutons with my salad, so that's kind of a different. So I've been buying Caesar salad kits a little bit here and there. I've been checking like the nutrition facts of stuff I eat. I don't know necessarily because like if I like banana peppers, right, and I put that in my salad last week, and I also like olives. It says 1 gram of carbs, so. That gonna hurt me very much, you think, or
1 gram of carb per serving?
Yeah.
And how many servings is it?
I don't remember.
Like in the salad?
Yeah. No. The banana peppers itself or the olives on the can.
Oh,
Yeah, or the jar.
1 gram per serving. That's not bad. That's
Okay.
1 gram. That's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. It just adds, it depends how many servings you're having.
Right. Right. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on with me.
It's more so this, like, carbs in its simplest form is sugar. It's the simple sugars you really want to try to avoid.
And like he was telling me, you probably were fine until something like out of nowhere spiked to the high.
Mm-hmm.
And I already have an idea what it is. Them Gatorade packets.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what made my A1C up.
Yeah.
So, to be considered diabetic, or I guess, yeah, diabetic and whatnot, you have to be above a 6. That's what I understood.
Yeah.
And I was at a 7. So it ain't bad. It's just
it's barely over. Yeah.
It's manageable.
Well, yeah. It's just something you gotta. It's important to just be self-aware. And now like you gotta actively work towards improving it.
Oh, like Craig said, you gotta force yourself to be active, and that's been the hardest thing too.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do like just coming outside after work, get the shit done, get active.
Yep.
I mean, don't cut out the video games or anything, but like get active, do more house stuff. And I don't have a problem doing house stuff. It's just sometimes my motivation sucks.
Sometimes the motivation to do that after a long day of work is not there.
Exactly.
I can relate.
Oh, but that's kind of what's been going on with me. I've been dealing with something else I can't really talk about. That guy got coming up Monday, and I don't want to talk about it. So hopefully that goes good. Other than that, I mean, yeah, it was kind of a train wreck last week when I found out. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, dude.
What do I do?
I didn't want to I just didn't want to say too much and overwhelm you or anything.
Like too much. Like, to be honest, man, I don't know where to start a little bit. I mean, I've kind of figured it out a little.
I mean, the first step is cleaning up your nutrition.
Yes.
And just becoming more generally active,
yes.
know. And once you start getting those, then you can go a little deeper, but this is maybe, also kind of the reality check and wake up call you needed to maybe start really kicking into high gear that weight loss journey, a little bit.
Yeah. And like I said, I got a good support system. I got you, I got Craig. I got my wife, I got my parents, I got my brother.
Yeah.
My brother was really concerned Mother's Day when we were,
Yeah. We got you back.
And you know what? My mom, she's like, oh, but now we got to change the menus when you guys come over and when we eat, and we're going to start having this. I'm like, okay, fine with it. But like you said, you can always, like what they've told me, make sure if you want to have a certain something that you haven't had in a while, go ahead, but just don't overdo it.
Right.
And
that's the biggest thing is portion control and moderation.
Oh, dude, my portion control has changed so much already. Yeah. If I was eating a pizza, so like one of the first nights, I didn't know what to get, so I got pizza. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I didn't eat the whole. I only had 3 slices, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't even eat the chicken wings I ate those the next day.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's just at the end of the day, it just comes down to moderation. Eating certain things in moderation and living an active lifestyle, and you got the hydration down. You're drinking a lot of water. Don't forget electrolytes.
And you gotta take a pill every day.
Yeah.
I can't take it on an empty stomach, so I gotta eat something.
Yeah.
They said the best thing you can eat as much eggs as you want as long as you don't put a lot of salt on it.
Yeah.
And then he had me at salt and steak, and he's told me straight up, whatever you do, don't, and this is kind of funny how we always bring it up on this podcast. I got to get something made for the new podcast room, but something about, he said, whatever you do, don't do keto. That will kill you.
Yeah, keto's bullshit. We will die on this hill on TNT, boys.
Yeah, he said keto will kill you.
I bet carnivore diet wouldn't be a bad route though.
I've actually been thinking a lot about the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
It's just
especially
meat,
since you have to really watch your carbs anyway. And carnivore diet is literally based on steak and eggs.
Yeah.
Like
I was telling Maya, like, dude, I can eat scrambled eggs and steak like a bowl every morning.
Yeah.
Or every dinner. Or
yeah.
yeah.
Honestly, I could too.
Yeah. So moving on, we don't want to keep talking about that and kind of just guys probably are like, oh, that's great, whatever. But
Well,
I don't know. I just don't want the spotlight on me. I just kind of.
it's okay. I mean, it's a relevant topic, but
Yeah.
we can move on.
What was going on? NBA basketball is kind of going on right now. NHL playoffs, but you don't watch a whole lot of that. I kind of keep here and there. With I know Zach and Vance do with a lot of the. They try to keep up with hockey. Yeah, I was in there one night talking about it with them.
Yeah.
Racing. I know racing's going on.
The Indy 500.
Yep.
I did hear about that. I always wondered. I asked a couple people, but why does the winner of that always drink milk? What's the story behind that?
I knew what it was, and I don't remember now, but it's kind of an interesting story. But I don't know. That's kind of something.
What do you think, chat?
Or what do you think, Cameron? Talking dirt. What do you think?
Yeah.
We had the NFL draft too, and
yep, that's done and gone.
We're doing the.
I mean, we got rookie mini camps going on, and
Isaiah Neyor is showing out on San Francisco. I tell you what, they signed him already.
Nice.
So, and they signed Ty Robinson on the Eagles.
I saw that.
I like how they made how they announced it. Yes, we signed Ty Robinson.
Yeah, I did. I know. I saw that too. I was going to talk about the Browns rookie minicamp with their quarterback situation, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur ain't looking too bad.
All the sources I've seen is Shedeur's actually outperformed Dillon Gabriel.
Yeah, I've seen Dillon throw more interceptions in the videos.
Which is, it's...
Don't get me wrong.
I mean, you could look at it from two sides. You could look at it from, like, I'm shocked, and then I'm not shocked. Like, shocked because, yeah, Shedeur is technically a fifth-round draft pick, but people projected me a first-rounder. No crap, he's performing better than the third-round draft pick, Dillon Gabriel.
Yeah.
But
I personally...
It'll be interesting to see.
I think Shedeur has that team already. I know we've kind of talked shit about Shedeur here because we're, Nebraska or Colorado.
Right.
And
I'm not a Shedeur hater.
I think he's all right, but I think the kid can ball. It's just other things like
right. I think
the type of person he can be a little bit. Personally.
His ego's a little overblown. I really think he just has a very high confidence of himself.
He has his daddy's ego.
A little bit, but he's also just really confident, and he's been through adversity before.
Yeah.
And I could see him end up winning that Browns job. Part of me thinks they'll probably open the season with Joe Flacco just to be like, to go with the safe veteran, but I could see Shedeur winning QB2 potentially. But they play the Titans early on in the season. I want to say it's like week 3 or 4, maybe week 2. I can't remember. But if Shedeur ends up winning that job, we could see Shedeur Sanders versus Cam Ward this season. And that'd be that'd be an interesting matchup because they have a little bit of beef. They have, I wouldn't really say beef, but more of like a friendly rivalry with each other,
Friendly banter.
Yeah. They've trained together in the past and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to see if Shedeur wins that job, if they ended up going head to head this season.
Justin Tucker signed with the Browns after getting released.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not see that.
Yep. They needed a kicker, so.
Nick Chubb, I think, is still a free agent.
Kind of surprising.
Wonder if he'll catch on with the team.
I didn't realize they drafted Judkins.
Yeah. So
that's a good replacement. I don't think they're going to use Nick Chubb anyway. I mean, even though he's a free agent, I think they were kind of looking at injury-wise.
Well, they have Jerome Ford, too,
who's
been pretty good in his absence. The Giants drafted that running back out of Arizona State, Cam Scatabo.
Yeah.
Granted, I could actually see him winning that starting job this year, too. They don't have too many. I mean, Tyrone Tracy Jr. was decent last year as a rookie, and they still have Devin Singletary, but Cam Scatabo, he's a powerhouse.
Yeah, a lot of people had doubts with him. The whole teammate thing was kind of coming out before the draft, and that's gonna be see if it's true or not in NFL.
Well, and he's an old school, kind of power running back, which has been more of a dying breed in this day and age, but I feel like they're slowly starting to kind of make a comeback, as well as the fullback. The fullback is not dead.
Run the veer.
Power eye.
Power eye.
Power eye. Love it.
Oh, man. I'm trying to think what else has happened in the NFL. Oh, well, you know what? I've noticed Matt Rule has been losing a lot of weight.
I haven't noticed that. I guess I haven't really seen any pictures of him lately.
I just saw one today.
Yeah.
Looks like he lost a little bit of weight. You can tell in his arms.
Nice. Putting in that work, Matt Rule. I see you.
Yeah. NFL, trying to think. We're talking about the training stuff, so that's going on.
Yep. The Ravens signed Derrick Henry to an extension.
Oh, I didn't know that. The Jaguars are trying to bring back their classic uniform.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like the original one?
Yeah, so they have to wait till the deal's up. That way they can make it official.
I kind of like their old one.
I was never a fan of the Blake
It's very 90s.
Yes, I was never a fan of the Blake Bortles
era.
Yeah, with the gold and black helmets. That was ugly. Like, whoever thought of that, like, wow.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I think of, like, the Mark Brunell era Jaguars. Fred Taylor.
Remember, Duncan from Wayne County Life is scared of Mark Brunell.
Yeah.
I think people forget about that.
Greatest quarterback in Jaguars history,
What's funny about that, he's actually the quarterback coach of the Detroit Lions, or was, or is. I can't remember if he left or not. But
yeah.
I was going to say,
he was a dog with the Jags.
NFL schedules came out. They released it. So your team and my team are playing week 1.
Yep.
Shocking, to be honest. I'm okay with it.
I looked at my team's schedule and I looked through it, man. We got a tough season ahead. I see us, like, if I'm being realistic based off last season, if I'm being a realist, I see maybe 9-10 wins in the regular season. And that's
so 10-7 or 9-8.
One of those, yeah.
Okay.
Then that's like you're teetering on playoffs, but you're right there at like that 7th seed. We've been the last 2 years.
I think we're gonna have some tough conference games, and we play the Eagles this year, and then the Chiefs, and
I think NFC is gonna be more tough this year.
I think last year it kind of showed the NFC.
Well, I think Caleb Williams is gonna make that jump.
You think?
I think NFC is gonna kind of start to contend a little bit with AFC in terms of quarterback play. We kind of saw the start of it last year with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. I think the Browns might shock some people this year. I hate to say, as much as we hate the Browns, the Bears. The Bears, yeah.
I think it just depends if their O-line can get it together, because Caleb is too talented.
It's funny. With our new OC, I bet you Ben Johnson thinks that he knows our team, but I bet you they have already changed everything he's done.
They've probably changed a lot, yeah.
So he's going to try to, like, they're running this play that I did in Detroit, like, I think the dude's a great coach. I think he could be a good, successful head coach.
Yeah.
I kind of predict them not to, I think they're going to make the playoffs, maybe with a wild card.
Chicago?
Yes.
I could see us, our teams, and Chicago making it. I could see, honestly, I feel like Minnesota is making a big mistake moving forward with JJ. I think they should have either kept Sam or tried to get Aaron. But they're sticking with JJ, and I think that's going to be a mistake on their end.
Well,
I just don't think
to be honest, if Aaron doesn't sign what I can see them doing, if JJ flops this year, they're going to sign him.
I feel like all signs point to Pittsburgh that he's going. And guess what? Pittsburgh at Green Bay is a primetime game this year.
Oh, yeah. That would be a good game to watch.
It would be. Yeah.
I think this year what we need to do is what I see a lot of other people do is that they'll have the camera in front of them, they'll watch the game, but they won't have the game on, screen and they'll live stream it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to start doing that.
Mm-hmm.
to set it up in the pod room.
That'd be cool.
That'd be a great idea. We'll get some reactions, get some shorts out of it. Be fun. Get Brody up here.
Yeah.
And whoever else. And that one random Jaguar fan that we know.
Yeah.
Jarrett.
Fuck you, Jarrett.
Oh, man. My hockey...
Jaguars suck.
My hockey team...
Green Bay.
My hockey team beat his hockey team. That was a shit show. He was so mad.
Was he so sad?
He was very mad.
And sad.
Yeah. He's one of those guys, like, his team wins one cup and they're a new franchise and they think they're the greatest team in the fuck ever play the game. Don't be wrong, the Vegas Knights are good. It's just
yeah.
They're I call them one cup.
He should be the Raiders fan for NFL. Since he's from Vegas.
Vegas. Nah. He's just the random...
Oh wait. We didn't one NFL thing we did not bring up. Speaking of Vegas. Derek Carr retired.
Oh, yeah. Derek Carr.
Granted, he was at the Saints, but spent a lot of his time in Vegas.
Yeah, I think injury is what really played into that
His shoulder injury. Now, we need to talk about the Saints. They are kind of screwed at quarterback.
Unless they sign Aaron. I don't think they will, but...
He's their best option because it's either Spencer Rattler or that 28-year-old rookie they drafted in the second round.
Yeah.
Tyler Shao.
That they picked over Shedeur.
Yeah.
I bet you they're kicking their.
Gosh!
I bet you that this was a plan. Like
I bet they were banking on Derek Carr being healthy this year.
That or Derek Carr told him like, "Hey, I'm retiring," and then that's Derek Carr said, "Hey."
They drafted Tyler Shao out of Louisville. I think Louisville, right?
Yes.
Over Shedeur in the second round. 28 years old.
But I mean, we haven't seen him playing a game yet.
Honestly,
so
I'd rather just. I would, if I was the coach, I'd roll with Spencer Rattler.
I would too, yeah.
Or, I don't know, bring in Ryan Tannehill. He's still out there. I don't think he's retired yet. I'd take him over any of those guys. Just have him hand it off to Alvin Kamara every play.
Buck, you could almost have, what's his face? That was the Swiss Army knife.
Taysom Hill?
Taysom Hill.
There you go. I'd take him.
Oh, we also forgot about, when we talk about schedules, the Dolphins are not, no, the Colts. The Colts got in trouble for their release schedule video. They had, the first game was the Miami Dolphins, and they showed Tyreek Hill as the Dolphin and then getting arrested.
I did hear about that.
I watched the video. It was a good video, but hey.
How do you think the toilet competition will be for their quarterback competition, the Colts?
Dude, that's going to be...
Anthony Richardson versus Daniel Jones.
That's going to
imagine
be
if those
a snooze fest.
Imagine those are your two quarterbacks to choose from going into camp.
It's going to be a snooze fest.
Like this is the same team that's had quarterbacks like Peyton Manning, Johnny Unitas, Andrew Luck. Even Phillip Rivers was good for them for a year. And now you got to choose between Anthony.
Jacoby Brissett was good.
He had a couple decent years, and Jim Harbaugh also played there. But the big names are Peyton, Unitas, and Luck. And now you have to choose between Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones.
I honestly, out of those two, I think Richardson's going to get his head out of his ass this year.
I think Richardson will win it just based off being the incumbent bias. But I think he eventually gets benched, and Jones ends up probably finishing the season as their leading passer.
Yeah. Or he just...
I feel like he's just a little bit more reliable. Like, just a safer option than Richardson.
Or he sinks and then he just gets cut.
Richardson?
No, Jones.
Jones?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Brock Purdy got paid.
Oh, good.
Brock Purdy got his money. Now, we'll see if that's a good thing or a bad thing for the Niners.
Watch him get traded in a couple years.
I mean, they don't... We'll see. We'll see if he can really do it. You know, we'll really see if he is truly an elite quarterback now. Because now they can't afford to build that superstar team around him. They've got Brandon Ayuk coming off an injury. They've got Jawan Jennings, who's a decent, slot receiver.
And now you got Isaiah Neyor, who's kind of trying to get up there.
Maybe he can work his way up. They still have Ricky Pearsall. They still got Kittle at tight end. Christian McCaffrey, maybe he can come back from injury.
Salah's back at D coordinator.
That's true. So we'll see, but I actually like Brock Purdy. I honestly think he's the best quarterback the Niners have had since Steve Young. Honestly, I mean, I would take him over. I mean, I'd say it's either him, Jeff Garcia, or Jimmy Garoppolo. You could maybe throw in Alex Smith or Colin Kaepernick.
You know, people always forget about Alex Smith when we talk about 49ers or even the Chiefs.
Alex Smith.
I thought he was a good quarterback.
So Alex Smith was a first overall pick in 2005, and he was pretty much written off as a bust until he got Jim Harbaugh as his coach. And then he put together a couple good years, got replaced by Kaepernick, which is the Niners regret that decision. Gets traded to Kansas City, has some solid years in Kansas City, and then gets replaced by Mahomes. Mentors Mahomes for years and gets replaced by Mahomes.
Well, I mean, he also got injured. That's how he got replaced, too. I mean, they were going to replace him anyway.
In San Fran.
Yeah.
And not in Kansas City. They drafted Mahomes to replace him.
I know, but what led to Mahomes taking the spot is he broke his fucking, leg.
That was in Washington.
Oh, that's right.
When he got that injury.
Yeah, I think he could have been great for Washington.
He could have been. I think he could have been.
But I think Washington now is in a
but the thing is,
better situation as it is.
Alex Smith had a very solid career as a kind of more of a journeyman guy. Solid starter, accurate, great game manager, great field general, but didn't quite have the career you expect from a first overall pick.
Right.
I wouldn't say he's a bust, but I'd say he didn't quite live up to first overall pick expectations, and he definitely, like Aaron Rodgers was in that same draft and had a Hall of Fame career. But I don't know. Hindsight's 2020. I like Alex Smith. I'm an Alex Smith fan, but back to Brock Purdy, I will definitely say Brock Purdy is the most successful quarterback the Niners have had since Steve Young, in my opinion. You can argue other guys' names, but I'm going to say Brock Purdy.
Colin Kaepernick. I'm kidding. We're not going to get into that, but
you could argue Colin Kaepernick, honestly. He took him to a Super Bowl. So did Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Jeff Garcia never took him to a Super Bowl.
I think Jimmy G kind of got little screwed his end of his NFL career. I think he always could have been a solid starter with the right coach.
I feel like Jimmy G, he was a solid game manager, field general, similar to Alex Smith, honestly, in his style, even similar to Brock Purdy. But I just think I would take Brock Purdy a little bit over Jimmy G just because I feel like he's got a little bit bigger arm and has a little bit more physical talent than Jimmy G. But one thing I will say is I do feel like the Niners gave up on Jeff Garcia too soon. Back in the early mid-2000s after he took over when Steve Young retired.
Yeah.
Because the Niners, they went from Montana to Young to Garcia. And then I feel like they gave up on Garcia too soon because he ended up going and having some good seasons at other teams like I think Cleveland, Philly.
Yep.
He had one good year in Tampa, took him to the playoffs. So, I don't know. Kind of an underrated quarterback that no one really talks about is Jeff Garcia. Went to San Jose State.
You know who was a pretty solid quarterback when you say that people forget?
Yeah.
Josh Freeman wasn't too bad in Tampa.
He had a couple good years.
He was supposed to be originally a Husker, and then
I feel like they gave up on him too early too in Tampa.
Yeah.
Well, he got drafted there after they moved off from Garcia.
Yeah.
And then after that they drafted Mike Glennon,
who had a good year or two.
He had a decent rookie year, and then and then they finally drafted Jameis.
Yeah.
Let's eat some W's.
And then he got eye surgery, and now the rest is history.
Yeah.
Probably one of the funniest guys in NFL.
Jameis.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, dude! If I could make a team of some of the funniest guys in NFL history, Jameis would be on that team, and I'd probably also have Marshawn Lynch on that team, and Ryan Fitzpatrick. There's Jamal Williams.
Yep.
Be another good one. There's definitely Chad Johnson. I don't know. Chad Johnson's more of a crybaby. I know I'm missing some.
Terrell Owens kind of was a crybaby.
Yeah, he was a crybaby too. Yeah. I don't know. Gronk.
We're missing a whole lot.
We are. We are.
Revis Island.
Darrelle Revis.
Darrelle Revis, yep.
You think he was funny?
Yeah.
I never really heard him crack any jokes.
And it's like he would crack the dickhead jokes. There's a lot of people, just they're not coming to mind right now.
No, and I think about this all the time, and now it's like I'm drawing a blank. I hate that.
Anyway, anything interesting in the college football world? I mean, we haven't really talked a whole lot about that yet. That's coming up here in a couple months.
Yeah.
I see Saban is like either it already I don't remember. I haven't looked in more into it, but he's getting a new position to help control NIL through the Donald Trump cabinet, pretty much.
Saban?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, if anyone knows about that, it'd be him.
Yeah, and hates it like him.
Like he's not a huge fan of it.
It's ruining the game. It's ruining college football.
Honestly, I think he even said that that's the primary reason
why he retired.
He got out of coaching. Yeah.
You know, I don't know about you, but I will always die on this hill about how NIL is killing college football until they need like actual regulation comes in.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like it's not well regulated. There's not enough structure to it.
There's a lot of tampering.
Yeah.
A lot of tampering.
A lot of tampering. People kind of trying to manipulate the system to in their favor.
Yep.
But
you know, like we said in the past though, and I will die on this hill too, is I kind of like it in a way because it's helping these smaller schools.
Right.
And it's kind of evening it out to where you see these smaller schools.
It's kind of a double-edged sword. Like,
you know, hey, we're at Troy University and we got this much money. We'll pay you, come play for us. And hey, Troy is starting to contend for their Sun Belt Conference.
Right.
You know, and these that was just an example. I'm not
yeah,
saying they're gonna, but you know,
what I'm saying is it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like on one end, it's like you like certain aspects of it, but on another end, it's like it's changing. Call it like the tradition of college football and how we used to know it.
You're not seeing those kids that, you know, Joe Schmo, who is from Norfolk, Nebraska, and doesn't, you know, he's a 0-star prospect, right? And or he's a 2-star, gets a scholarship, outworks, you know, and actually no, let me rephrase that. You'll see that here and there, but once they finally realize that, oh, I'm making money, then they kind of change. But I haven't seen the one that like, oh, making money and not really, you know, you don't see the, I don't know, tradition anymore.
Yeah.
But we've talked a lot about it. We don't have to keep talking about it. I mean,
we have, yeah.
I think it's just something we're always going to talk about if we bring up college football.
Oh, for sure. I mean, one thing I don't think we've talked about a whole lot is how the Nebraska season opener is going to be at Arrowhead Stadium versus Cincinnati.
You know, I thought about tickets. They just announced the game, but it's too
close. It's kind of funny. I kind of draw comparisons to the NFL because you look at it, Raiola is basically like a Mahomes like wannabe.
Yeah.
And then they're in Arrowhead Stadium, Mahomes' backyard, literally, playing against Cincinnati. Where in the NFL, Cincinnati has played the Chiefs in the AFC Championship twice.
Oh, you're gonna make some Husker fan mad somehow when you just said.
How?
I don't know. You know how Husker fans are. We're Husker fans too.
Saying how Raiola is a Mahomes wannabe?
He's not a wannabe. He's his own person, which he is.
I think,
but he's been trained by him. We understand that. But like,
my thing is, I wish he would try to be more his own person.
Yeah, be your own brand.
Right, versus just trying to be like a Mahomes copycat, which you can very obviously see he's trying very hard to just be Mahomes Jr.
But you can have all the, the people you look up to, but you always want to create your own style.
Right, like it's great that he has Mahomes as a mentor and a coach to look up to and trains with him and everything, has the same trainer.
I'm gonna say it now.
But
I think
be your own person, dude.
And do your own thing. I think Mahomes will finish out. Or not Mahomes. I think Raiola will finish out in Nebraska.
I think he will.
Yeah.
I think he actually wants to he wants to build like the program.
Yes.
He wants to help be a part of building it back up.
Like, part of me feels like we're going to see Matt Rule there for a little while.
I really hope so. You know, I really hope in this year we take that big jump. And I really do hope Raiola stays. But us as fans, we've got to like learn to shut our mouths sometimes and be just a little more patient.
Yeah.
Like, because that's why Martinez left. Adrian Martinez.
He had a great career or great year at fucking Kansas State.
And he was a Heisman candidate until he got hurt.
Yeah.
And now he's now that Jordan Travis retired, he's the third string on the Jets.
Oh, not only that, he's a fucking champion in the USFL.
Yeah, USFL league MVP and championship MVP. So he's a good quarterback.
Very good
and Nebraska squandered that because we thought
Scott Frost squandered that.
We thought he was the problem and not Scott Frost. Turns out the whole time it was Scott Frost the whole fucking time.
Yeah, which people were calling that for so long.
Where honestly, like if Matt Rule ends up not working out, fuck that. It wasn't Adrian Martinez, it wasn't Scott Frost, it wasn't Matt Rule, it was the damn culture at Nebraska. Which is sad to say.
But I mean, so much can change in the next few years.
That's true.
But as a Nebraska fan, I think we're guilty of it sometimes.
We are. We're all guilty of it.
And it just is not a good look for us. These kids, they see it all the time.
Well, they see what Nebraska was in the 90s, and they're like, they want to help bring that back. And then they get here, and they realize how shitty we can be as fans, and how
I don't think it's not only that. I think we're lacking on some facilities, like the new complex we just built. I think that's great. I think that's awesome. That's gonna help. But like, I need to update the stadium a little bit.
Yeah.
But they've been trying to do that, but I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. Just the campus sometimes, or some areas, like we've been there how many times, and it's like kind of trashy around the area, but.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm saying too much. I might have a Husker fan come and cut my head off.
Dude, I'm just saying, like,
it's
a lot of times these good players leave because of the culture.
Yep.
And they don't feel accepted. They hear it in the media that it's all on them. Like, it's like, dude, just let the kids play. Like,
it's kind of in a way Malachi Coleman kind of left too, but he also was bad on academics.
Well, yeah, there's that side of it, and a lot of these players are dumb. Off the field, getting, drunk driving, doing stupid stuff.
That Washington running back we had, he was going to be great, and then something came back up.
Oh, yeah, that Maurice Washington. Mm-hmm. I remember him. Was never a huge fan of him.
I think if he would have got it under control, I think he could have been a great player.
Yeah, he was fast. He was fast. He was a little taller than the average running back.
Yeah.
That was around the time we had Dietrich Johnson, too, though. And I liked him.
Yeah.
Dietrich Johnson. Dude was a tank.
Well, Sam, I think we're losing daylight here.
A little bit. Yep.
That's all right. We'll fix that. I like it doing out here.
Yeah, it's nice.
I was going to say some more things. Vlog. We've vlogged in Minnesota. I'm almost done with it. I've just been, like I said, been busy, and then last week was out the window. But I'm actually at the part. I'm editing the part where it was the competition, so I'm kind of trying to think of how to do a montage in a way.
Yeah.
So that should be cool. On that, the whole video, I was kind of pleased with the content we got.
Yeah.
We're still gotta get a little bit better. I'll say about it. But it just seems like we're finally getting it.
I think it was definitely our best vlogging experience so far.
Well, I kind of, do you guys want to see us do a day in the life of our POVs?
Yeah.
So like 1 minute will be me, and then he'll be doing something, and then I think it'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Or just we just kind of think of ways to do vlogging.
Yeah.
I thought about I could have been videoing before he got here.
Right.
It's just, yeah, we're not no David Dobrik. We're not no Sam Sulik vlog. We're not,
Right.
Bradley Martin or anything, but we're not dicks. That's more importantly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a pretty good, solid episode.
Yeah. Just kind of
Touching base.
just kind of yeah.
Ding.
Just kind of just basically just no real script and just kind of talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Catching up.
We had a little bit more daylight and we would have done this a little earlier. We could have had the episode kind of go on, but I might have to fix that. Make a little area with lights.
Pretty cool.
But things cost a lot of money. Money is going up. But that's all right. We don't need to talk about that. That's a little personal. But anyway, Sam, sign us out, buddy.
Thanks for watching, TNT Faithful. Check us out on all the social media platforms. Also, check out Agent Life Media Group. We got Touching Base, Talking Dirt, Uses Assumptions, and TNT Boys. That's us. We suck. And until next time, peace.